Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Gabriella. I make videos about astrology, fragrance, self-care, mental health, actor life. I do vlogs and basically anything else I feel like talking about. So welcome back, or welcome. I'm here having my little decaf chai. My friend Aubrey put me onto the Tazo decaf chai mix that you just mix with milk, and I am having it with soy milk and I am living. So a couple weeks back, somebody requested that I review all of the Ariana Grande fragrances, and I was only missing 2 from my collection, right? Actually, no, I was missing 3, so I ended up getting 3 to complete the collection. But I have smelled the fragrances before, so I knew that I would like them, so I was happy to pick them up for this review. And I've been trying them out for the past couple weeks, so I want to jump in and give you a review of all of these fragrances to help you find which one might be best for you or someone you love, and let's jump into it. So right off the bat, I will say all of these fragrances last 2 to 3 hours on me, no more. They're not very long wearing, which makes sense though. I think the age demographic is definitely for younger people, and so something super obnoxious and something that could be really cloying would not be appropriate for a young person, especially because young people tend to overspray because they get really excited about wearing fragrance. So I think that's smart. And I do find these to be pretty linear fragrances in the sense that they don't change drastically on the skin as you wear them. And they do kind of smell exactly as they smell in the bottle, with an exception for one that is just kind of very special. But anyway, so there's that. They all kind of have that in common. Now, let's jump in. So the first fragrance that Ariana Grande released was this one called Ari. It's in a very, very cute, round, sort of cool kind of geometric sphere sort of thing with a little pom-pom. Very Ariana, very cute. So this one to me, this is very, very girly girl. But this does not smell like sweet sugar. It's nothing like Aquilina pink sugar, anything like that. It's very fruity. So fruity sweet, but not, wouldn't call it a gourmand. So right off the bat for this, I smell like pear and maybe blackberry, maybe raspberry, some kind of sparkling berry, maybe blackberry, yeah. And then I can definitely smell the sweetness, and then as this dries on my skin, it gets more warm, and it's, you know, quite a nice fragrance. For this one, I can see a girl maybe junior year and up in high school wearing this, because it is pretty flirty. It's like a very sparkly, sweet, sort of look at me, I'm beautiful fragrance. Definitely not a mature fragrance. I wouldn't wear this as an adult into the office or to like a business dinner or anything like that, or even out, I don't know, it depends on the date night. I think all of these Ariana Grande fragrances are actually, they appeal a lot to men from my experience, because they do have a lot of vanilla and marshmallow, and some have amber, sandalwood. They do contain those very crowd-pleasing warm notes that appeal to men. Men kind of have a thing for vanilla and things like that. I don't know, if I'm wearing like a little mini dress, or like if I was wearing a top like this, you know, something flirty if you want to feel a little young and girly. But yeah, for a young woman, I think, you know, high school party, this would be great. Homecoming. It's not elegant, so if you want to wear an elegant, more mature fragrance to homecoming or an event like that, it doesn't smell like a special event fragrance, but it smells like a fragrance that makes a young girl or young woman feel very pretty and very flirty. This came out in 2015, and the top notes are pear, grapefruit, and raspberry. Okay, so grapefruit gives that, whenever I say sparkly, it's usually like citrus. It's something light in the atmosphere. Okay, and then middle notes are lily of the valley, rose, and vanilla orchid, which give it that creamy, it does have a creamy vibe to it, but not super gourmand. So I think those florals in particular pull, or they're kind of creamy to me when I smell them, and skin-like and gentle. So it's definitely not a heady, sharp floral at all. The base is musk, woody notes, and marshmallow. So very good. I mean, if you have someone who likes the Juicy Couture fragrances, this is sort of like the little sister to the Juicy Couture, maybe Viva La Juicy. Oh my gosh, speaking of fragrance, Mochi is tooting up a storm back there. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, Mochi. Oh my God. Oh my. Yeah. That is absolutely awful. Oh my gosh. Anyway, back to fragrance. Yeah, totally a safe blind buy. I think most young women are gonna like this, or young people. Yeah, this is definitely for the girly girl, the flirty girl, you know, the young girl in high school who wears makeup to school and does her hair. It's very, very girly. I will say it does kind of remind me of like a Bath and Body Works sort of pear fragrance in that sense. So it's not vulgar when I say flirty. It's not anything super like boozy or super gourmand or like eat me alive type of thing. It's very, you know, it's just flirty. It's light up in the atmosphere. It's not too obnoxious, but it's sweet and fruity and juicy. Yeah, very juicy. So it sort of reminds me of maybe a pear body splash you get from Bath and Body Works with a little more complexity and warmth and obviously more longevity than a body splash. All right, so Ariana did come out with a fragrance in 2016 called Frankie, which I do not have. I think it was limited edition, and that looks like it was marketed as a unisex fragrance. All right, so next we have Sweet Like Candy, and I have a rollerball of this, which it's sort of this cool iridescent rollerball. And Sweet Like Candy came out in 2016, and the actual bottle for this, the full size, looks like this, except it's not clear and it's a matte baby pink. Super, super cute. This one is really, the first thing I think of is sweet tarts. It's very, very tart. It's very sort of cutting. This is fresher. I can definitely see a younger girl wearing this over Ari. I think if you know a 10-year-old, 10, 11-year-old who wants to get into fragrance, but it's really not appropriate to get them something they could overspray or something that might be too obnoxious for school, and you want to get a nice starter fragrance, this is really fun, you know? When I smell it, I don't think it's a sexy fragrance. It's a very optimistic fragrance, if you know what I mean. It's very bright, it's very happy. It made me happy when I smelled it, so that's why I got the rollerball probably a year ago. I'm almost out of it, but yeah, this reminds me of, I just hit myself in the nose. This reminds me of sweet tarts. So I think this is definitely a floral with sweet notes. It's definitely less girly girl than Ari. I can see a, yeah, 10, 11, 12-year-old wearing this. I think this is definitely younger, a younger vibe than Ari. I want to say I wouldn't wear this on dates because it's not really sexy, but I've worn it on casual dates and people who smell it really, really like it. So I don't know, it just has a young, optimistic vibe to it, and it's very, very tart. So when I saw the name Sweet Like Candy, I kind of expected it to smell like cotton candy or you know, marshmallow, vanilla. But actually she did something kind of unique and made it more like a gummy bear, sour worms, sweet tarts. So let me take a look at those notes for Sweet Like Candy. The top notes are blackberry, lime, and pear. So we still have the pear DNA, which is I think something she uses in a lot of her fragrances. But the lime, I think the lime and the blackberry are that tart juiciness that are really, especially with the lime right on the top, that's I think what's giving me the sweet tart vibe. Then in the middle notes, we have blackcurrant, whipped cream, marshmallow, frangipani, honeysuckle, and the base notes are vanilla and cashmere wood. In the middle, the frangipani, I'm not sure if I really smell that, or I suppose I could smell the honeysuckle. I think those are flowers that lay very well in the middle. They're not flowers that scream for attention. So it just adds a bit of softness, and it adds a bit of that girliness, that Ariana Grande vibe to this fragrance, because otherwise it would really just be a very tart, fruity, citrusy fragrance. But it is definitely sweet on the skin. Again, if you're looking for something super sexy and flirty for someone maybe my age or older, this is not the one I would go with a full size with. I think there are other fragrances, but this is a great one for a gift for someone younger and someone who likes those citrusy, optimistic, fruity, really happy fragrances. This is a really, really happy fragrance that's sweet like candy. Okay, so then in 2017, she came out with her third fragrance that looks like this in the same bottle as the other ones, but this one is in an iridescent pink, purple, green sort of bottle with a lavender pom-pom, as you can see, and this one is called Moonlight. This one is the most mature of the ones I've spoken about so far. It's definitely the one that is most nighttime. It's not really dark or mysterious in any way, but it is, it's more creamy. It's definitely the most powdery. It's, again, super, super girly. I feel like I smell blackberry again. And then there are definitely florals in here. This is closest to a traditional floral fragrance with the flirty notes of probably marshmallow, something warm at the base. For this, I can imagine, you know, junior, senior in high school, maybe freshman, sophomore in college. This would be something that would be good for a dance or for prom or homecoming, or, you know, an evening event as a young person, because it does have a little bit more of a dressed up sort of feel. I think maybe because it's a little more complex with the florals and it's a little less fruity, juicy. It's really nice. With Moonlight, I expected it to smell a little darker, a little deeper, maybe more mysterious. This definitely has the same girly, juicy, optimistic, flirty DNA of the Ariana Grande fragrances, but it's, this one, for example, I would not compare to a Juicy Couture fragrance. It's definitely floral. I don't know if elegant is the right word, but it's the most grown up. It's the big sister of the three that I've talked about. So let's look at Moonlight's notes really quick. It's interesting that she chose dark fruit at the top. The two top notes are blackcurrant and plum, which makes sense why she might have chosen a purple bottle and marketed this fragrance as Moonlight. And even the images for the fragrance, she's like in dark and light is sort of, they're playing with light and a moonlight sort of look in the photos. In the middle we have marshmallow and peony. So that peony, I think, is quite a mature smelling flower, or it's also unique, but that's in fragrances. You don't really find those in little girl fragrances, peony. And then at the base, we have amber, vanilla, and sandalwood. So yeah, like amber, vanilla, and sandalwood, well, at least amber and sandalwood are not found a lot in super, super immature fragrances. And so I think that's what's giving this a little bit more of a mature vibe. And definitely continuing that Ariana Grande DNA of having marshmallow in there. So this is Moonlight. I really like this one. It's very, very pretty fragrance. All right, so in 2018, Ariana did something. She did that, and she came out with Cloud. And Cloud is a fragrance that everybody talks about. I have not really seen any of these other fragrances on fragrance content creators' channels, at least the ones that I watch. The content creators that I watch in the fragrance community are usually my age or older. And I've seen women in their 40s talk about Cloud by Ariana Grande. So this is a complete departure from, you know, these other fragrances. This is something totally different. I really wonder where her inspiration came from. People say this is a dupe for the Baccarat Rouge Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I mean, I'm not sure how you can dupe a fragrance so meticulously made and so expensive with something else. I don't really care to see if that's a real dupe. I enjoy this fragrance for what it is. It comes in this cute little plastic cloud. Some people don't like it. I like it. I mean, she's always been playful with her packaging, so why not with this? I love it. What I can say about this, my unique hot take, is that if you ever had baby dolls or maybe Cabbage Patch Kids, My Little Pony, anything that's made from this type of kind of squishy plastic back in the day, it used to have that sweet smell. I'm not talking about, like, I think Strawberry Shortcake, they scented it, but just a baby doll or just like a baby doll My Little Pony toy, they have that sweet plasticky smell, but not chemical plastic. It's just sweet baby doll toy, and that is what this smells like. It is, oh my gosh, it is so good. Now this one is also so soothing, and there's something I want to say not herbal about it, but yes, it smells the least artificial of her fragrances. It's the fragrance that smells least like a commercial fragrance. I don't know if I would smell this and think it was a celebrity fragrance. I might think it was a designer fragrance, but probably not niche, but I might think it was a designer fragrance. This, I definitely smell lavender, which I know is a note in here, but it's lavender wrapped in creamy, what is the, lavender cream puff. Oh, just like that. Yeah, I mean, it is very, very sweet, but not in an artificial way. It really reminds me of a cream puff because it's light. The sweetness of this fragrance is super light and fluffy. And so for this one, you can get away with spraying quite a bit. The other day I did overspray and I got really, really nauseous. So in between, it's not a 2 sprayer, but it's not a 10 sprayer. So just figure it out for yourself. But this one, my best friend Kira also wears, and it smells great on her too. Some people find this fragrance masculine. I've heard them say it's masculine. I don't think so. I wouldn't categorize it that way. I do think it could be unisex. I don't see one of my big brothers at age 40 something wearing this, but one of my young male friends, I have a friend I always talk about, Josh, he wears Joe Malone Wild Bluebell. He could rock something like this. But yeah, I even think my mom would love this fragrance. I think she'd find it incredibly comforting. I don't think anyone would smell it on her and think she was smelling too, think that she would smell sort of immature or cheap for her age. I do think the other fragrances, if I or even my mom wore them on like a daily basis or somewhere professional, it would be inappropriate. They smell very girly, very young. They're not womanly fragrances. This one can be definitely worn by a woman. It is in a sense sort of seductive, I would say, only because it's so mysterious. You really can't put your finger on what you're smelling. You just know it smells absolutely magical. So I love Cloud. It's hands down my favorite fragrance that she has created, and I don't have very much left. I definitely need to get the big size. But yeah, on everybody, I think it's a little bit different. I highly recommend anyone to smell this, and I think it's a safe blind buy, to be honest. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. The top notes are lime, pear, and lavender. The middle notes are coconut, whipped cream, praline, and vanilla orchid. So it gives it that creamy, light, fluffy note. I can't really say I smell coconut prominently here. You're not gonna smell like a vacation or something. We'll talk about that soon. And then the base is woody notes and musk. So again, it's very skin-like. It melts right into the skin. It's a wonderful first date fragrance, especially because you're just gonna smell good. They're not gonna know if it's like, is she just clean and she smells good, or is that a fragrance? There's nothing alcoholic or cloying about this that would make anyone think, wow, she really turned on the perfume for me tonight. No, this is like if you wanna be delicious and delectable, but I didn't really try. This is magical. This is the star of her collection, hands down. It's won several awards. It's beautiful. So the last one in the Ariana Grande collection that I have is Thank You Next. And I have a spray. This is not a roller ball, it's a little spray, but the actual bottle is so cute. It's like a matte baby pink broken heart. I'll insert a picture. It's so, so cute. So Thank You Next shocked me. I ordered this online to complete my collection because I bought these two at CVS so I could smell them immediately when I got home. This one I ordered off of eBay or something, and I was shook. I thought this was gonna smell sweet, maybe something like Cloud. No, this is, to me, this was a coconut bomb. I was shook. I didn't even know Ariana Grande liked coconut. Now, to me, why would I know that? She's not like my BFF. Okay, anyway, she doesn't remind me of coconut. I don't know. This fragrance, the coconut in this fragrance to me is dessert coconut. It is the soft, sweet, shredded coconut that you put on top of your oatmeal or your parfait, or that's on like an Easter cake. I don't know if you guys relate, but my family used to make cakes for Easter in the shape of a lamb, and the lamb's fur was all shredded coconut, and that's what this is. It's dessert coconut. It is not suntan coconut. It's not pina colada vacation. So wearing this, I mean, I think you can wear it spring and summer. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like praline in this one as well, and then maybe whipped cream as well. Let's take a look at the notes. So the top notes in Thank You Next are pear and raspberry. I suppose I can get a sort of note of raspberry, but the coconut really is like, boom, overpowering everything. Pink rose, okay. All right, and the base is musk and macaron. So you know those little Krabby Patty looking French desserts? That's the base of this, which this is a dessert fragrance. This is a gourmand. If any of hers are a gourmand, it's this one. A coconut macaron is exactly what this is. So if you don't like coconut, you're not gonna tolerate this. Maybe this one is not so linear because it's drying to something a little more bold. It almost, I think the musk is giving it a little cutting edge. It almost smells, the musk is giving me that sort of cologne, sexy, masculine vibe, but it doesn't go all the way to masculine because of course, I mean, you have like the rose and the macaron and the coconut and all the raspberry and pear that are just making it very, very girly. Yeah, there's something a little deeper about this one, I think, with that musk. So let's see. My number one choice for anyone to try is Cloud, but I would say any of these are really a safe blind buy besides Thank You Next, because you need to check in about that coconut note. But yeah, these are all sort of party girl fragrances. They're not you know, they're not really a daily fragrance besides Cloud. They're not a fancy event fragrance. They're just fun to make you feel pretty and girly and give you a little bit of that Ariana. She kind of lives in her own cute little, very like kawaii world, and that's what this is. Just a little bit of magic. But they are very unique. I really give her that, is these are not just fragrances that clearly she's like, that's fine, put it on the market, you know? I feel like she had some vision for these and really got creative, and I appreciate that. It seems like she actually has a passion for fragrance, so shout out to you, Ariana. Props to Ariana Grande for putting out a bomb celebrity fragrance line, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Mwah! Bye, guys.